A couple of weeks ago, I was cranky. And it was more than just the gas and diarrhea, more than the headache and sinus congestion. It was the way people looked at me. It was every comment, even laughter felt aggravating. It's time to go back to reality, the lady next to me said. I wanted to kick her. She was talking about carry-on luggage, about not bringing what I didn't need. But it landed deeper than that. Because the real question was, what was I carrying that I didn't need? I needed a break from the aggravation of life. And here's what was fascinating at the very same time. I was in a fabulous flow, creative, expansive, alive. It felt amazing and uncertain, a roller coaster of possibility. Cheers to the adventure of being alive. That was the moment I consciously said, so long chaos, hello clarity. I had been gifted a powerful project and I was on fire creatively. Ideas were moving fast. What mattered was not setting fire to the other parts of my life, the chapters that had not yet closed. I knew I needed patience. And I was patient until I wasn't. Even something small like the internet failing or the electricity cutting out when a transformer blew would test me. So I sat, I waited, and eventually the feeling passed. It moved through me like a wave. Even when it felt like a tsunami, it always passed. That was the space between the breath. That was my next breath again. My job in that season was simple: focus on the next step. One conversation to say, I am quitting, another to say, let's begin. Financial stability had been given to me through a job that no longer served me. I already had a plan for how to transition out of it. I knew a remarkable woman who could step in and do it beautifully. Would the owner agree? At that point, I didn't realize I didn't need to control that outcome. What mattered was that I chose to leave with integrity to help him transition rather than storm out in frustration. That was growth. That was breath. Because here is what I've learned over and over again. The only obstacle in your way is you. There was a moment in my life when breathing was not automatic. It was a choice. When Emily died, my next breath became the only thing that mattered. A mantra rose into my conscious life like a life raft, like a life raft. The only obstacle in your way is you. And I held on to it the way a drowning person holds on to air. In trauma, panic comes fast. It wraps itself around your throat and tells you that you cannot survive this. But I learned something long before that day. Conscious breath saves you. I had to help Jarrett. I had to honor my daughter's life. I had to continue mine, even though part of me wanted to disappear. Stress is an early, fear-fueled ego response. It feels urgent, it feels powerful, but it is not useful. What saved me was body awareness. The body is the instrument through which we experience life. And in that moment, I chose breath over panic. Instead of staying frozen beside my daughter's body, I went to my son. I chose the living. Later, when the flood of grief came, a question surfaced. Who am I living for now? And immediately, images of my family filled my heart. I could not allow despair to take me from them too. Go to Jarrett. Care for the living. Looking back, I can see the breadcrumbs life left me. Every hardship had trained me for that moment. We do not suddenly become different people in trauma. We bring our past with us, our patterns, our coping skills, our awareness. My twin gifts were simple: knowing when to breathe and not panicking when something went wrong. Information quiets fear. We are afraid of the unknown. Ignorance is simply lack of data. When fear loses oxygen, we live. External love cannot exist without suffering. Death is visible. Love is invisible. But love is what lasts. So if you find yourself cranky, if your body feels inflamed, if small inconveniences feel enormous, if someone's offhand comment hits deeper than it should, pause. Return to the space between the breath. Find your next one. Just one. Because sometimes survival and transformation only require that. And if this message resonates with you, this is the work we do here on Recover Your Joy. Nance, Exponential Joy. We learn how to breathe through the impossible. We transform pain into exponential growth. We recover joy. Subscribe. Share this with someone who may need their next breath today. And remember, joy was never gone. It was waiting on the other side of fear. I'll see you in the next episode.